Welcome, my name is Colleen and I help run the Community Investments Program, along with my colleague Chelsea. Our office is known by a lot of different names: Lodge Grants, SIP Grants, Programs Department. We're here almost every Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. Please call or email us with questions. We are happy to provide program information and assistance. Our contact information is included at the end of this webinar. Today we're going to talk about impact grants, specifically the 2020 impact grants. We'll go over how to apply, some tips for applying, and the process if you're approved. We have a pool of $500,000 to award in 2019-20. Impact intents are meant to help save time and encourage innovative grant ideas. The intent is a quick 6-question survey about the Lodge's project idea. When you're filling out an intent, make sure that you're succinct and persuasive. It's your opportunity to demonstrate that your lodge has a cool, unique idea to solve a problem in your community, and to demonstrate that the lodge has the power and volunteer backing to get it done. Again, the impact intent is the first step in this new 2-step process for applying for an impact grant. The 2019-20 impact intent opens soon, and again, it's 6 questions that will be judged in August. And remember, only 1 impact intent per lodge per grant year. Step 2 of the impact grant process is filling out the full application. If the lodge's impact intent moves forward and is selected, the lodge will have the ability to apply on the full impact grant application. Let's take a look at the impact grant timeline. The impact intent, or the first step, opens April 1st and closes July 31st, 2019. The full application invite emails will go out on August 23rd, and those lodges moving forward to the full application will have from September 1st through October 31st to apply. The grantees will be announced in mid-November, and lodges will have the 2020 calendar year to use the 2020 impact grant funds. A note about this: if you're out there listening and your lodge already has an impact grant and you'd like to renew it for next year, that process is a little different and that timeline's a little different. I'll send you a personalized email explaining. If you haven't gotten an impact grant before, or if you have but you'd like to change your plan, this is the timeline for you. So again, impact grant intents open on April 1st. The full application is invitation only, and that opens September 1st, and we'll announce the 2020 class in mid-November. All right, so given that timeline, what are the keys to submitting a successful impact grant application? The first and most important thing to remember is that active involvement is key. Impact grants cannot be donations. They require extensive Elk involvement. There are great examples online on the Impact Grant webpage, and rather than discuss them here, I highly encourage you to go to enf.elks.org/impactgrant and take a look at the 70 plus lodges that we've approved in the past. Again, remember, impact grants cannot be donations. If the project that you're thinking of could be summed up as a large $10,000 check presentation to another organization, then this is not the grant for you. Another thing to keep in mind is that impact grants are really competitive. Make sure that you have a good, strong plan. An idea is just the start. You want to make sure you know the details, including how often activities will occur, how many Elks will be needed for those activities, and how the funds will be spent. And another key to success is to be prepared and start early. Often we receive applications for projects that sound like they could be good, but we don't have enough information to make a decision. So if you have an impact grant project idea in mind, this is the time to start ironing out those details. Even though the impact intent opens on April 1st, you don't have to submit it that first day. It's open from April 1 all the way through July. So this is the time to start preparing. All right, So I already said one very important impact grant no-go, and that is impact grants cannot be donations. I need to stress that. Impact grants require extensive elk involvement. Outside of that, these are a couple no-goes, and I'm going to read them as follows. So, as with all of our SIP grants, the impact grant cannot directly benefit Elks members or lodge employees. Impact grants cannot be used to purchase land or buildings for an Elks lodge or improve, repair, renovate, or expand current lodge buildings or property in any way. That's true of all of our smaller grants as well. Again, impact grants cannot be a donation of funds or supplies to another organization. Impact grants cannot be used to pay salaries or personnel costs of another organization. Impact grants cannot be used to establish or increase a foundation, trust, or interest-bearing account. Impact grants cannot fund one-time purchases such as vehicles or large pieces of equipment. And impact grants cannot be a small part of a large community capital campaign fund. So those are the definite no-goes, and as you can see, a lot of them speak to the need for extensive elk involvement. We want the impact grant project to be something that the community looks at and sees the Elks name. We're looking for unique dynamic projects that solve a community problem and that can be directly connected to elk involvement to solve that problem. Partners are wonderful to have, but if any part of your project includes a check presentation for a big piece of equipment, for salaries, or for anything else to that organization, then this is not the grant for you. All right, I also want to go over a note on popular projects. Impact grants are more competitive than ever. And just a reminder that an application funded in 2013 looks much different than one that's funded now. We're looking for unique active projects that are 100% by the Elks. And I would very much recommend do everything you can to stand out of the pack. Last year we had 201 impact intents submitted. We only invited about 50 to fill out the full application. Of those 50, we only had about a little less than 40 actually apply. And then from there, we only funded 17. So I'm not a math whiz and I can't do those percentages. I should have done them before and written them down. But small percentage of lodges actually get funded. And those that we fund are unique, active, 100% lodge-led projects. I'm going to note here there is an abundance of backpack programs, especially with the impact grant. It's an incredibly popular, ubiquitous project that the Elks are really passionate about. In 2013, we may have funded impact grants that were backpack projects that simply had elk involvement of packing bags and dropping them off at schools. Given how competitive the impact grant is now, we are no longer funding projects with that minimal elk involvement. We're looking for projects that go beyond the packing and the donating. Backpack programs that get funded with the impact grant now have real elk involvement in the schools and contain interaction between Elks members and kids beyond just dropping off backpacks. In addition, we are looking for projects that really focus in on one very specific problem. Backpack programs that try to help an entire school district or an entire county will not get funded. What we're looking for is unique active projects that really pinpoint a problem. So they pinpoint the problem of poverty and hunger in one school, and they use the impact grant funds to really understand that problem and to interact with the children that are facing that problem to get a better return on investment, to make a bigger impact, and to get to know their community better. You don't have to do a backpack program though. Even though they're so popular, there are plenty of other unique ideas out there. Last year we funded a vitamin D clinic in Alaska We funded a senior meals program on the East Coast, and we funded a veterans mobile care unit in Oklahoma. Those are 3 wonderful examples of pretty unique ideas that have 100% active elk involvement that serve a population in need in a very innovative way. So if you have any questions about this, please give our office a call. I'm more than happy to talk through ideas with you. All right, so resources. It's really important, again, to start early and start planning now. So I recommend going to the website and looking at all of the resources that we have to offer on the Impact Grant page. That includes FAQs, a toolbox, and I believe action verbs and the rubric for the application, so how we allocate points. So hop online, look at the Impact Grant website, find those resources, and use them to help start ironing out the details for your project idea. Again, it's imperative that you begin to do that now. Another great resource would be to listen to Midday. Episode 49, called The Golden Tickets, features yours truly, so if you want to hear my beautiful voice for much longer, you can head on over to Midday at the URL provided on the screen. It's an entire hour of me, Assistant Director Debbie Kaler-Doles, and Director Jim O'Kelly talking about the Impact Grant projects that we funded in 2019, and really digs into the details about the Impact Grant. It's probably more information than you need, but it's a great way to learn about the kinds of projects we're looking for, learn about the kinds of projects that we funded last year, and a great way to hear advice directly from those that make the funding decisions. So check out Midday, check out resources on the Impact Grant website, start thinking about new and innovative ways that you can use this $10,000 in your community. Go beyond that backpack and think about how you can directly engage with children in need if you're thinking about doing a backpack program. Make sure you fill out the impact intent sometime between April 1st and July 31st, and make sure that intent is succinct, has details, and properly shows that your lodge has an exciting idea and the manpower or the woman power to get it done. So again, anytime you have any questions about any of our grants, but especially the Impact Grant, make sure you give us a call or shoot us an email. Again, I'm more than happy to talk through project ideas with you. I'm more than happy to talk through applications or intents or give advice. That's our contact information there. All right.